There was a song that I used to listen to religiously back in the day when it first came out. I think it was like high school, I believe. And even to this day, as a grown ass adult whose musical palette has significantly expanded, I still go back and listen to the song strictly for sentimental value, you know? The song I'm talking about is Lil Wayne's How to Love, right? Before we get started with this video, who told Lil Wayne to sing? Like, dude sounds like a drunk, dizzy frog. Like, if you got a frog, threw it in the washing machine, spun it around, let him get dizzy, pulled him out, and put him in the booth and said, yo, record on this track. That's what Lil Wayne sounded like. I know a lot of crooks, I steal your heart. Never really had luck, could never figure out how to love. How to love. Bro, like, whoever told him to get on the booth and drop some vocals did the world a disservice. But anyway, this video isn't about how to love. This video is about how to learn. All right? So if you are a college student that's cramming for an exam, you're trying to learn a new language. You're trying to learn what you got to learn real quick because you faked your way through an interview and now you got a job that you have no idea how to do. This video is for you. This can be applied to anything that you're trying to learn. All right? So there are 3 basic steps to this. There may be some fancy name out there in a psychology textbook or whatever. Someone coined a phrase online or whatever. This is just me sitting around thinking. There's 3 basic steps. And I do believe that step 1 is the single most important step out of this 3-step process. The first step to being able to learn everything quicker is drop the ego. Whether you are on one side of the extreme that you are know-it-all, or you're a victim and you keep on downing yourself. The know-it-alls. Oh, I have a master's, a PhD from Harvard, Yale, and MIT. I would say that I am the principal amongst all matters of this subject. And you can't tell him nothing because he's read all the books. He has all the fancy pieces of paper. You can't tell him nothing, right? On the other side of the spectrum, there's oh man, just school is hard and I can't learn this stuff. I'm not as smart as everybody else. Both of y'all are being ruled by your ego. Drop it. Me personally, I've been saying this throughout a lot of my videos. I have a phrase that I live by. I know nothing, therefore I always have something to learn. You know what I'm saying? There's always something to learn. You got all these finance people. I'm learning consumer law with Amazon books that cost $20, $30, maybe $40 and, YouTube videos. These people go out here to business schools, economic schools, and they still pay their bills with income. So you paid all that money, you think you know it all, but me sitting on Amazon and YouTube, I'm learning how to pay my bills without using my income, my hard-earned money that's already for a debt that's already paid for due to this consumer credit transaction that utilizes my social security number to get access to my SESTA account. I'm gonna keep saying this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is baffling to me. So shed the ego, all right? Once you shed the ego, you can be more receptive to all new avenues of information, all right? So that's step 1, shed the ego. Now, step 2, and this is where, some people could be a little confused when I initially say this. The best way to learn something is to teach it. Now, some of you may be wondering, how can I teach something if I don't know it? Let me tell you a quick story to elaborate that point. I told y'all about some of my experiences in college. Well, in my senior year specifically, I was having a conversation with my academic advisor. And this is the story where, I realized that I don't like being underestimated. Who does? But this is like my first true experience with it. My academic advisor, one of my professors, mind you, told me to my face that he didn't think I could do it. I asked him when I walked in to start this meeting, I was like, hey, look, I'm just trying to graduate on time. What do I need to do to graduate? Man, I don't really think you got it in you. That's what he said to me. An academic advisor, a professor. As a young, naive student, I still looked up to these professors in a position of authority. Like, you guys, you're going to help me. You're going to guide me through my path. And you're the one telling me that you think that I can't do that? You told me that to my face? So what he ended up saying was, like, yeah, you just need to do a lot of credits. And based off of your current history, I don't think you can do it, man. And that pissed me off on so many. Oh, bitch, who the fuck you think you talking to? Like my grade GPA does not reflect my intellect. I'm too busy being depressed, homicidal, and suicidal over here. Sorry if I'm not focusing on putting the right circle in the right number. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I was like, challenge accepted. So when I had that internal conversation, I said, so let me get this straight. If I fail any classes this year, I'm being held back another semester. And if I give up and throw in the towel right now, I'm staying here for another semester. Is that accurate? Well, yeah. So why is it and this is why I asked him, as my academic advisor, why are you giving me two solutions that lead me to failure without at all acknowledging the one option where it says I actually clutch up and I graduate on time? What do I gotta do? Well, you'd have to take, and I forgot how many it was, but you'd have to take 26 to 28 credits. Sign me up. Sign me up. Whew, I'm getting mad just talking about that again. But nevertheless, that's the fire I needed, and I graduated on time. Now, I tell you that story because, there's a method, there's a change that I made in my psyche. I stopped focusing on my depression and anger, and I started to focus on all these classes just to shut this one dude up. To this day, I don't think he did it on purpose either. I think he was speaking genuinely. I don't think he wasn't doing reverse psychology. I don't think he'd think I could do it. Nevertheless, what I started to do though was I got these two whiteboards. Like I got these whiteboards where you could stick them to the wall. Like you could roll them out and just stick them to your wall. And I began to give lectures. If y'all remember the old videos, I used to give lectures to my sock monkey, and like as if I was teaching a class. Okay, and I went to school for soil science. So, but okay, I'm just giving you a brief rundown. But nevertheless, I was like, okay, soil is something that can be generated by multiple different means. It could be from the weathering of a parent material, or it can come from the decay of organic matter. And due to the different variances of how the different sediment sizes get moved around, that's how we get the formation of soil horizons or soil layers. Okay, so this is how certain things. When you can't explain something, when you're teaching yourself, when you can't explain something, you need to stop and go learn it. So let's just say there's a term called loess, L-O-E-S-S. That is soil that's displaced in the air. There's a whole bunch of sediment in the air, that's called loess. Or lust, whatever. All right, so but if I were going to explain that, so when particles get suspended in the air, they can be called, what's that? Damn it. Okay, cool. So you put a pause on the lecture, you go open the book. Oh, loess, L-O-E-S-S. Okay, loess. Loess, when sediment is suspended in the air and transported, that is called loess. Okay, cool. And then you just rinse and repeat that. You yap and yap and yak. You teach and teach and teach until you can't fully articulate something. This is what some of you little college kids need to stop doing when you were going to, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, when you're going up to these adult people that are living the lives that you are being educated on right now. You need to be able to say, oh, wait, I don't know how to explain that. Damn, I don't know how to get from A to Z with that one. Okay, let's go out here and learn it. Because this leads you to step 3, right? Who's calling me? I'm cooking right now. This leads you to step 3. Now, you can stop right there. If you're a student, just teach yourself, learn what you can't teach, learn what you can't explain, right? But step 3, the next level of it is when you want to start combating opposing belief systems, opposing viewpoints on a certain topic, whether it's science, religion, health, nutrition, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is the part where step 3, where a lot of people fall short on the internet. You hear one message, you see one big print headline, and that's your new truth without actually doing any type of scholarship, any type of research on it, right? People just hear what most people regurgitate and they go repeat it. You can't be like that. What you need to do in order to perform as a worthy adversary in the intellectual debate is you need to learn what the other side is ingesting. You need to go learn what they're talking about. Now that you think you know everything about what you believe, now you need to go see what the opposing side is going to say. Who do they listen to? Who do they watch? What content do they read? And you need to go read it. So not only do you have all the information for your perspective, you have what they are going to say as well. So when they hit you with that, you already have a quick rebuttal. You have a rebuttal right there. Oh, damn, I knew he was going to say that. Okay, so you did say that this and this. Well, I actually have conflicting evidence that supports the other one. I believe that XYZ due to my sources here and here. You sound more prepared. You sound more intellectual. Go look, whether you hate him or love him, go look at Charlie Kirk's videos. Go look at how he came with facts. Whether you agree or disagree with it, he came prepared for the argument. But go look at these college students that love to wave their degrees in people's faces, and then you're an idiot, you're racist, you don't know what you're talking about. Homie came with facts. Whether you believe they were applied correctly or not, I don't agree with everything he said, but nevertheless, he came prepared. He was articulate. He was able to explain his position without bringing emotion into it. You see? A lot of you young people especially, a lot of you people on the internet don't realize, I'm about to record this video right after this one, a lot of y'all don't realize how polarized you are. A lot of you don't realize how extremist you are because you don't get outside of the internet. You don't do your own research. You don't come up with your own conclusions. You just regurgitate what you hear the most. And you hear the most of it based off of your algorithms. The algorithms dictate what you see. That's why some of you can't fathom that some people are on the left and some people are on the right. You can't fathom it because your phone is telling you one side of the story. You have to be ready to ingest opposing views and see where your personal standing lies on that spectrum. Okay? So quick summary. Step 1, shed the ego. You don't know it all. You will never know it all. There are business majors that are still paying their debts off with income. Okay? There are lawyers that are still being schooled by sovereign citizens out here. Okay, they went to 8 years of law school, and these doctors out here, there's no cure for this. Fasting, diet, alkaline diet, what are we talking about? I didn't have to go to get a fancy degree for that. But then also, you can do it. You can learn. You're not dumb, you're lazy. You're getting in your own way. Stop being lazy, stop making excuses, and take your time. Okay, step 1, shed the ego. Step 2, teach yourself. Get your arguments out in private. Don't go on the internet speaking stupid shit because you heard it from somebody else and you're just being a mockingbird. Like you in the Hunger Games or some shit. You know, it's like go out here and learn everything, but you teach it out loud. Say it out loud to yourself and ask yourself, did that make sense? Wait, hold up. I just said that there weren't no such thing as slaves out loud. I said that to myself. There were no slaves. I could open up a book and find pictures of slaves. What are we talking about? Trees don't exist. Then what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? So you check yourself in private before you get embarrassed on the internet. All right? And then the third part, as supplement to part 2, is shed the ego. Well, supplement to the first 2 steps. That's what I meant to say. It's like shed the ego, and teaching yourself is like you need to be able to teach yourself and be ready to oppose opposing viewpoints with your own information and knowing what they're going to say. Because people can catch you off guard if you don't know what they're going to say. You know, you playing a video game, you know he does punch, punch, kick, punch, punch, kick, punch, punch, kick. If you don't know that the third move is a kick, you're just going to go punch, punch, why does he keep hitting me? Punch, punch, and you're going to get exposed in front of all these people. No, you learn what they're going to do. You know that these people that believe in this mentality do punch, punch, kick, punch, punch, catch the kick. Ha ha, I've got you. You've activated my trap card. You know, and then you can be more prepared for every debate instead of bringing emotion into it when your intellect falls. When your intellect falls, emotion takes over, and that's when you lose. Hope that made sense. Till the next one.